r/AskReddit. Sleepwalkers of Reddit, what was your most interesting sleepwalking experience? My roommate once found me standing in front of the fridge. Freezer door open. Gnawing on a frozen bagel. When he asked me what I was doing, I told him to mind his ducking business and go back to Peru. He's never even been to Peru. Haha. According to my brother, during one of my spells, I ran downstairs and was furious at him, screaming and asking him why he pushed the earthquake button. Apparently he doesn't know of any earthquake buttons. Edit. Grammar. Peru has had no earthquakes in the past 4 months, which is quite rare. If, by any chance, there is an earthquake soon, I blame it on you too. As a witness to sleepwalking, I have seen some weird hit. When I was 10, me and my friend were camping out in the living room when we saw her naked dad walk to the dining room, lift up the table and piss. He wasn't asleep. It wasn't piss. My boyfriend tends to sleepwalk, sleep talk. One night I was abruptly awoken by being squeezed repeatedly around my waist. This wasn't some cute hug thing. Oh no. He had propped me up into a sitting position and was squeezing me so hard it knocked the air out of me. He kept repeating, "You're choking. You're choking." Once he calmed down and woke up, we realized that he had been trying to give me the Heimlich maneuver. On another occasion I got to listen to him having a conversation with himself as follows. "Mayday. Mayday. Come in ambulance. This is helicopter. Helicopter, this is ambulance. What is your situation?" My boyfriend and I used to sleepwalk, not so much anymore. But every once in a while I can get him to sleep talk, and he told me when he was younger his mom woke up to him calling for her. She ran upstairs to his room and he wasn't there. But she heard him calling for her again. She looked out the window and saw him walking around outside butt naked. Plot twist. He was actually police car. I was sleeping in a hotel room with my parents and I got up and started scratching at the window trying to get out. My dad told me to go back to bed and I walked over and did like a bicep flexing pose and yelled, "You're just jealous because I'm beating you." Another time I pulled my mattress off my bed frame and I woke up in the morning sleeping on the box spring. The mattress was on the floor. I walked over to my mom and said if we were in an Asian country we could sell our teeth. I have a lot more. Edit. Alright. I would do bodyweight squats at the foot of my bed at this camp I was at. I woke myself up doing squats on a separate occasion. My first noted sleepwalking episode ever. I shuffled into my parents' room with my hands cupped in front of me. Said I have 3 cups of sand and turned around and went back to bed. Mostly I find these things out from when I have to share a room with someone. But I've woken up on a bare mattress with my sheets crumpled in the hallway. All the things on my dress are all messed up. So I know I do it then too. Similar to you. One time I was in the hotel room with my parents and I got up and left the room. And clicked the elevator button and waited there until my dad came and got me. I was in my boxers. 12. About to wander into the Excalibur lobby in Las Vegas at like 6 AM. When I got back in, my dad told me to go to bed. To which I argued saying Christy, my sister, would get mad. My sister wasn't there. So I slept in bed with my mom and dad. Haha, this has to be one of the funniest I've read so far. I don't sleepwalk, but my little brother does. One time, I was in the kitchen for a late night snack, like 3 AM, and I hear my brother coming up the stairs. He was sleepwalking. He always squints really hard when he's doing it. So I knew what was going on. He's walking towards the kitchen bathroom. So I figure he's going to sleepwalk a piss or something. Nope. He walks into the garage and starts peeing on the hood of my dad's car. I go in there and I say, "Brother, WTF are you doing?" His reply was hilarious. "Merry-go-round." He finishes, pulls up his underwear, but not his shorts, and Penguin walks back downstairs. Merry-go-round, get this kid to a carnival. He shouldn't have shown him Mary Poppins before he went to bed. Told my sister I was going to kill her and then repeatedly recited my phone number backwards. I don't think I could even do that while awake. The phone number thing. Redrum. 90356768, 90356768, 90356768. My buddy sleepwalks. When we were roommates I found him sleeping next to half-eaten steak one morning. He's a vegetarian. Nature finds a way. You cannot resist the meat. I was beginning to suspect my daughter was a sleepwalker until this happened. Now I'm convinced. One night while I was watching a movie at my desk in my bedroom and my daughter had been sleeping soundly in my bed for a few hours, she always sneaks in my bed. She suddenly woke up and started farting with the force of 1,000 suns. I paused my movie and asked if she needed to go to the bathroom. She stared at me blankly and started bouncing her legs up and down. I knew something horrible was imminent, so I got up from my chair and helped her from the bed. Rather than use the insolite bathroom which was several feet from her, she instead rushed out of the bedroom and ran across the hall to the main floor toilet. She whipped her pants down, sat on the toilet and then let out a deep sigh. As I watched in shock and horror, she unleashed a torrent of loud farts that echoed throughout the toilet bowl. The ferocity of the gas explosion made me simultaneously wince in discomfort, yet smile with pride. Disturbingly though, her expression didn't change. She just stared forward with a blank look on her face while her explosive farts tested the structural integrity of the toilet. As the onslaught subsided, I asked her if she was okay, and this was her response: "I can't fart too loud. My bunnies are sleeping and I don't want to wake them." I then asked her if she was finished, at which point she hopped off the toilet and said I didn't poop. I just really had to fart. She then proceeded to wipe, wash her hands and then curiously ball up 2 handfuls of toilet paper and throw them in the garbage. I don't know why she did that. After she was finished she ran back to bed, curled up and started snoring before she had finished pulling up the blankets and getting herself comfortable. I kissed her goodnight but also asked her about the bunnies, to which she replied, with eyes closed, "Daddy, we don't have any bunnies. Just a dog and 2 kitty cats." That's a nice story and all, but I think we all know that girls don't fart. I have heard that somewhere around puberty girls learn how to stop farting by transforming their gaseous emissions into emotional outbursts. My daughter is only 5 and farts like a trucker, so I will have to get back to you in about 8 years to confirm if this is true. In the middle of the night, this is my father's account, not my own. He was up late waiting for my older brother to come home from a concert. I came running through the upstairs hall and down the stairs. I mean full on cheetah mode. On my way, I am hitting everything. I mean each step I take I am throwing my fists at whatever is closest. By the time I reached the kitchen my fists were cut up and I started tossing things off the counter. My dad had to grab me and pin me to the wall before I got to the cabinet I was beelining for, which had all of our glasses in. I woke up with my dad pinning me to the wall, at which point I waited up with him for my brother to arrive. Then went back to sleep. Another time, the whole house woke up to my brother, same one, yelling. We ran to his room, thinking he was hurt, to find him standing in his boxers in the center of the room, holding his mattress straight up. Still no explanation on that one. TLDR, smashing glasses and holding mattresses. The TLDR sounds like it could be an amazing album name. Or a porno. Stuck all my flip-flops in between books on my bookshelf. Now they are flip books. Badum TSS. I had an ex that occasionally had to take Ambien for insomnia, but it always made her do weird stuff in her sleep. Most of the time she would just say weird hit or get up in the middle of the night, walk into the bathroom, and then fall asleep on the floor. One night I wake up and she has pulled the covers off of me and has proceeded to stick mini marshmallows all over my body as I slept. In her sleep she had gotten up, gone to the kitchen, gotten the bag of mini marshmallows, put them in the microwave to heat them up, WTF, and then came back to the bedroom and started sticking them on me. I woke up and then woke her up. She had no clue what she was doing, but they had to have been at least 20 mini marshmallows on my chest and face. Run. Now. She is a cannibal that wanted to make a human s'more. Or kinky sex. I vote for number 2. I once woke up and found myself pissing all over my laptop. I wasn't really sleepwalking I guess, but I did manage to pull down my pants and aim my stream off the bed all in my sleep. I was so shocked to see what I was doing that by the time I had fully processed it, I had already unleashed my very full bladder all over my very unfortunately placed laptop. Don't worry. My laptop made a full recovery and I'm actually using it right now to type all this. Is it a Mac or a PC? New mature level reached. 5th grader. I grew up sleepwalking, but never paid much attention to it because I would just wake up in another room and go back to bed. One hot sticky summer night when I was around 15 I was dreaming and started to hear yelling. I opened my eyes and I was in the bread aisle of a grocery store and people were yelling at me. I soon realized I was not in fact dreaming and completely butt-ass naked. For whatever reason in my panic state, grabbed a loaf of bread and ran home. When I was younger I used to sleepwalk all the time, but I'd only ever remember it in flashes. I only remembered one thing. Terror. It happened again a few weeks ago for the first time in years. I'll do my best to describe it. Blind. Nameless terror. It crashed over me in waves, breaking me down. Adrenaline coursed through my veins. I was almost too terrified for speech, but I couldn't think of why. Drums played in my head, and with each beat another wave crashed into me. Incoherent thoughts raced through my mind at such a rate it was a constant, overwhelming buzz. I remembered those nights from when I was a child, but there was nothing to make it stop. I sat on my bed, curled in a ball, rocking back and forth muttering it's going to end. It's going to stop. Under my breath over and over again. I tried to leave my bed once to get help, but the floors creaked. Every sound was amplified, aggressive, and filled me with yet more dread. I made it to the doorway of my bedroom before I couldn't take the noise and turned back. The first part sounds like sleep paralysis. Dude, that does not sound normal. You might want to check that. 2 things. Took my dog for a walk when I was 8 years old at midnight. Woke up inside of our dryer in the laundry room. Dog was probably really happy. Lucky you didn't die. I would like to hope someone would hear the unmistakable thump of a child inside a dryer, but I've never heard it before. A friend of mine tried waking me up so I could turn off the DVD player after a movie. I was still pretty much asleep, so I replied with "Shut up. The movie isn't over until I say it's over." My friend sat in complete silence, daring not to wake me, for about 30 minutes. Alpha as duck. I was sleeping with my now GF and I'm not used to sleeping in the same bed with someone. Well, she told me a few days later I woke up and got out of bed and was spinning in circles. She asked me what happened and I was bitten by a spider, I said. Then I curled up in bed and went back to sleep. Went into my parents' room and woke my mom up. I then proceeded to yell at her, "Where is it, Josh?" Name of a friend of mine, and after her not telling me where it was, I punched my mom. Oh god, I would love to know about the aftermath. On the serious note, that better than waking up to find your grandpa holding a 12 gauge on her face and pulling the trigger. Thankfully the gun was unloaded in his 82 years age. That was the first time he actually slept walk. Was at a sleepover. 2 friends and I were in living room. I fell asleep first. Apparently I tried to go to the bathroom out the front door but came back because it was locked and told my friends there were ducks in the bathroom so I couldn't pee and passed out on the couch again. I would walk down a long set of stairs and stand in the doorway to the garage staring at where my dad's car was supposed to be. My stepmom would try to talk to me and ask me questions but I would never respond. I would just stare at the empty garage. That's creepy as duck. Until I was 15. My younger brother and I shared a bedroom and we had bunk beds. I had the top bunk. One night, I dreamt that I was skydiving, but my chute didn't open. I hit the ground, but wasn't injured. So I brushed myself off and got onto the next plane to do it again. The next morning, I walk into the kitchen to complain about a sore arm, and they burst out laughing as they tell me what happened that night. They heard me shout out, "That's IT. Here we go." And they came into the bedroom to see what the duck was going on. There they see me launch off the top bunk, scream Geronimo, and land on the floor. I laid there for a few seconds. Stand up. Brush myself off and mutter goddamnit. I have to ducking do it again. And climb back into bed. There they see me launch off the top bunk. Scream Geronimo. Ha. Reminds me of the 11th Doctor from Doctor Who. When I was younger, my brother woke up to me laughing at TV static. That's just creepy. Thanks for watching and be sure to subscribe to RedditQueen for the best daily content.